Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another lesson. Today, we're breaking down a topic that shows up in algebra, geometry, and even real life problem solving. That's perfect squares, perfect cubes, and their roots. Have you ever wondered why 49 equals 7, or what cube root even is? Stick around. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand exactly how these concepts work and how to spot them fast. How to solve them even faster. Let's dive right into it. Now, a perfect square is a number that you get when you multiply a whole number by itself. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16, and so on, right? And such, right? Let's talk about square roots. Excuse me. The square root of a number is simply the value that, when multiplied by itself, gives you that number. So 7 is squared by 49, then the square root of 49 is 7, and in math, right? I suppose we would write it like this. Now, someone with nicer handwriting could make that more pleasing. But, yeah. See, some people see this symbol as a long division sign, right? Now, it is, yeah. But when placed beside a number like this, it is called a square. It being squared, right? And then there's a lot of different functions for it. Anyhow. But a key detail is every positive number actually has 2 square roots. One that's positive, one that's negative. Because both 7 times 7 and negative 7 times negative 7 equal 49. So, if we're going to be technical, right? 49 squared, like the square root of 49, is positive 7. Also to keep in mind, square roots of negative numbers are not real. For example, square root of negative 9 doesn't have a real solution. You could call it imaginary. Now for perfect cubes, cubing things perfectly, is a number that you get by multiplying a number by itself twice or more. In other words, an x. Or let's give an example like 2 times 2 times 2. 2 cubed is 8, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8, right? 2 times 2 is 4, then 4 times 2 is 8. 3 cubed, 27. 4 cubed, 64. 5 cubed, well, you get it. They grow faster than squares, but they actually come up a lot. Especially in volume problems, or when you're solving equations with exponents. What about cube roots? The cube root of a number is a value that, when cubed, gives you that number. The cube root of 27, 3. Cube root of 64, 4. Cube root of 125, 5. Which you should know if you're just paying attention. In math, we write this using a 3 above the root symbol. Like this. Right in there. Right. And here's the cool part. Cube roots of negative numbers are real. For example, like this, right? And then negative 8 equals negative 2. That's because negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 equals negative 8. Because the 2 negatives make the positive 4, and the positive 4 times the negative 2 is negative 8. This is one of the bigger major differences between squared and cubed roots. You see? Now, volume and such is also a big part of it. All right, flip over here. It represents, right, volume represents the, a cube whose all sides are equal, right? It is the entirety of a cube, right? Like, a side length of a cube and the perfect cube are very coordinated together. So, we talked about factor trees in the last lesson, and you can determine cube roots with it too, not just square roots. Right, like the square root, whatever. Right, let's go 1, 7, 2, 8. And if we put this down right, we just go in. And then we just continue down, so on and so forth, which then we can split it into 3 columns. That's not right. And so when we split up 127, 1, 7, 2, 8, that would give us 1, 2, 8, 8, then 9, 32. So on and so forth. Now, to determine it, we would just split these up into the columns evenly. Like, you get a 3, you get a 3, you get a 3, you get a 2, 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 you get a 2. Now, to determine the square root of it, we'd go 3 times 2, right? 6 times 2, 12, and then for each one, it would be 12. Now, we just times that out together, gives us 1728. So, that is the square root. The square root of 1728 is 12. Right? Surface area. Surface area is a trickier topic for a lot of people. For a lot of people just coming into it, it is quite hard. But don't let that stop you. Say we want to find 4, 1, 9, 3. We would do the factor tree, right? 17, 2, 8, 9, and then the 17, 17. We'd make this little tree structure again, I suppose. Square root 17. We're not satisfied with that. We are not going to be satisfied with that. To find it, we need to go in 1, 7, 3, 4 inches, just as an example. And then if we square it, that is equal to 2, 8, 9 times 6. And then you have the square root, or volume. Surface area, yeah. And essentially, right? That's it. You know, you have I hope you have a solid understanding of perfect squares, perfect cubes, and how to find those roots. If this helped you, go ahead, take this information, go on, click on to the next lesson, and you will be much better at this math. But if you got questions, drop them down in our contact box, right? And one of our amazing team members will get back to you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.